Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, usually in a perfect world under 5 total carbs, but I say under 20 total carbs. So there is leeway just in case something pops up and it's not a Lego waffle, right? So, what what is it that you've been telling yourself you really ought to do or tweak or change up that you haven't been doing and you need to do it, you want to do it? And so I was just wondering, because for me, it was that very small exercise component. And I was resisting it like the resistance band. And, you know, I, it's so funny because once you get reinstated into eating something or doing something or breaking a habit or whatever it is that you're doing, it is funny how you say, God, I spent so much time, fighting that. I could have been already doing it and have a few days in a row of where, like, my food plan was tweaked, or I didn't have a cigarette, or, any of the things that we think that we don't want to do anymore. And we put a little pressure on ourselves and we still don't make the change, right? So for me, it was the exercise. And it was definitely, I wanted to have a few days in a row before I went to my nurse practitioner. And so when she said, "Do you exercise?" I could say, "Mm-hmm." Of course, I had to tell her the truth that I hadn't for a long time. And she was the one that always felt it was a Baker's cyst. And then the ultrasound a year later finally proved that. And I didn't exercise. So now I'm happy to do that. And I do find it's interesting. I do find my energy, that stamina of, like, the energy push lasted a little bit longer yesterday. Yesterday was the big push. I do the overnight. So then not having any sleep and getting up at like 10:30 the night before, going about all the stores and doing, the majority of the grocery shopping, I could keep going. And then, of course, it's the bringing it in and putting it away and planning dinner and all of that. And so, I found that my energy level wasn't as waning. If it was, I would have had the salt crystals on my tongue, the Celtic salt white crystals on my tongue, and I would have had some mineral water to follow. I don't drink as much water as I used to. And somebody said, I think it might have been Richard from Keto Mechanic, that the fat is where a lot of the water is held in our body. So I found that kind of interesting. And so I don't drink, I drink an ample amount of water, but not a lot of water. And I find that just works. I don't feel any different. And TMI, peeing doesn't feel any different. I don't feel like a camel that I haven't peed in days or anything. It still feels like the same amount. So who knows? Maybe in the summer, I'll have a little bit more water because, you sweat more. But right now it's a very dry part of winter. And so, yeah, I did all the meat shopping, and I found my favorite lettuce, Olivia's baby butter lettuce. So I stocked up on that. What else did I get that's good? Well, the meats were the best part, and the usual cream cheese and cheese for the pizza, asparagus, Brussels sprouts that we have on Sunday. So some fun things like that. Yes, I do like my veg, and I do have my veg, and I missed my veg when I wasn't having it. So I know that you lucky carnivore people, can go without your veg, and it just works for you. But I'm a veg person. I guess I kind of liked it. And it's funny because Mike always refers to somebody that he, in his Twitter world, from OMAD, and he said that he had a guy that just, tried to be all carnivore, but he just missed his little salad every day. And so I guess I was kind of the same way. So yeah, I stocked up, put everything away. Today's a little bit of cooking. I might make the cheeseburger soup. And it's also the keto pizza day. So I'm taping this in advance because this will air on a Thursday, and keto pizza is Saturday. So you can tell that I'm I'm just I'm recording it a little bit in advance. And so, what is it that you've been promising yourself you might do? Could be even a task. And I tell Miss Joyce that I try to do one nasty task a day just to get it out of the way. And it could take 13 seconds to do it, but it's just the doing it. I guess I'm just, I walk by something and I say, oh, that could use a little, and then I do it. But the exercise was definitely weighing on me. I mean, it's time, and doing a 1 minute gentle walk mile with Leslie Sansone, it's like 15 minutes of my life. And, I just feel so much better. I'm not a big marathon type of person. I'm not an hour at the gym, heavy lifting type person. I'm 68. And I just think that extra movement and just, when she has us do a higher bump with the walking in place, that I get that sort of thing. And then I add the weights and the bands, and I just feel like I've done something. And because for months I felt like I should do something, especially through the warmer months. I live on Cape Cod, go walk on the beach. And yet I resisted it, right? And people spend thousands to come here to do what? Walk on the beach. Duh. So that's what I'm doing. And as far as how my foods are going, I'm 1 meal a day, and we call that OMAD. Some people are 2 meals a day. Some people go between 1 meal a day and 2 meals a day. The keto experts talk about not snacking and not night eating. So if you're new to keto, some of the highly suggested things for me is no more nighttime eating and no more snacking, because every time you do that, you spike your insulin and blood sugar, and your body says a meal is coming. Even if it's, a half a cup of something, it's still, your body still does all that preparation to take care of it. And that stops fat loss. And it's just a little stall on your metabolism, just chugging along really nicely with the intermittent fasting. I do intermittent fast with 3 cups of coffee with 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream in each one. It's what works for me. And then I sit down to my meal. I put in long days, especially when I'm getting up at 10:30 to go work an overnight. That's the first cup of coffee. The second cup of coffee is 9 in the morning. It's 9 hours later. And then the next one usually is within the 2 to 3 hours. So that's how I conduct that. And when I have my OMAD, I sit down to, I usually show it in a little video, my salad and my side. And I do love my beef, and I do love my pork too. But you will see that I eat beef 4 to 5 times a week. And, there's even some scrambled burger on my pizza, or I'm planning it for tonight because I bought 2.5 pounds of 80/20 beef. So I've got that going on. And so, yeah, I sit down to my meal. I enjoy it. I'm not a liberal oil person. I still have my butter, my macadamia nut oil, my 4th and Heart ghee, and my Amish butter. But I don't have a lot of coconut oil, and I don't have a lot of olive oil anymore. Although I cook with coconut oil. That's how we cook the veggies on the big green egg in the cast iron pots, because it has a high heat deal, and with the avocado oil too. So, yeah. I upped my protein, told my nurse practitioner. She said that's a good idea for an older woman. And I weighed the same as I weighed last summer. And I said, well, you want to start subtracting winter clothes? But I don't care, because I weigh myself at home, and that's the number that I go with. And so, yeah, so things are happy. I'm in happy land. I'm in content land. I'm in satiated land. My calories usually are between 1,300 and 1,400. That seems to be enough. And if I needed more, you bet I'd have more. Yeah, I'd probably have a couple of more ounces of meat, but I'm finding that my 8 to 10 ounces of meat, usually beef, sometimes pork, with my 2 gently fried Pete and Jerry jumbo eggs, works out really, really well with the salad on the side. It just is a nice thing, and it's kind of like my formula. And as I say to all of you, finding what your formula is, what foods work for you. For some people, it could be having, broccoli or cauliflower or other veggies, sometimes sauteed cabbage, things like that. My what works for me 5 days a week is that side salad with a softer lettuce. I don't really have romaine anymore, so this is the baby butter lettuce from Olivia's, and then I buy the Trader Joe's butter lettuce with radicchio. That's another soft lettuce. Sometimes baby spring mix. I buy those. So I like the softer lettuces on my gut. I do think that I probably ate too many veggies in the past, and it probably caused some gut issues, but a small amount does still work for me. So that's how I do it. And it's just a comfortable way of having my OMAD. I tried OMAD over a year ago with the idea that you can go back, you can have your 2 meals a day, one at 12 and one. If it doesn't work, but guess what? It did work. And so I've stuck with it and never turned back. And that all works for me. And so thank you so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto. It works. I'm really carnivish, but there is no, if you look up carnivish, there's no how to do a carnivish diet. It's low veggies and high meat and good fats. So thank you so much for watching. Please tune in again. Thank you. Bye-bye for now.